Hello everyone, I am Wanachol black student from Thailand. Today I have the story about the number of trees and weather in my hometown with my grandmother.
ยะบ้านเราเริ่มบ้านเราต้นไม้พื้นที่ที่เป็นป่าไม้แต่ก่อนกับตอนนี้เปลี่ยนแปลงไปมากมายเปลี่ยนแปลงอย่างไรบ้าง
เปลี่ยนแปลงไปมากเลยแต่คนสียาเกิดมันเป็นป่าต่างเป็นการตั้ง
เปลี่ยนแปลงไปเยอะ
อันนี้ซึ่งว่าเดี๋ยวนี้ก็ไม่ถูกมันก็พิษเลยเป็นถงเลยมาแต่ก่อนเป็นถงทับหน้าเดี๋ยวนี้จากถงมาเป็นสวนปาล์ม
และสภาพอากาศในช่วงที่ยาเป็นเด็กเป็นผู้ใหญ่เปลี่ยนแปลงอย่างไรบ้าง
นั่นแหละมันก็เหมือนนะมันไม่เปลี่ยนแปลงได้แต่ได้อากาศต้น
พอทราบเวลาน้ำท่วมแต่ก่อนกับตอนเนี้ยท่วมนั่นเหมือนกันไหม
เหมือนกัน
เหมือนเดิม
แต่เหมือนเดิมจังเหมือนเดิมเลยน้ำท่วม
เหมือนเดิม
เหมือนเดิมมันแหละน้ำท่วมแต่ก่อนกันเหมือนกันแหละตาซ่ามันเนี่ยแบบว่ามันอีกท่วมเร็วว่าแต่ก่อนแหละก็ติดนุ่นติดชลประทานมั่งติดนุ่นท่วมเร็วว่า
มาสิยายคิดว่าเพราะบ้านเราป่าไม้เปลี่ยนแปลงสภาพอากาศเปลี่ยนสภาพความเป็นอยู่หรือประเพณีบ้านเราเปลี่ยนไปไหม
I live in Llyn. I've been living in Llyn for the past 40 years. Llyn was well known for its private gardens. As such, the trees haven't changed per se, but the trees have been replaced by, unfortunately, blocks of apartments. We've lost loads of gardens in Llyn. There were fabulous houses and fabulous gardens. Unfortunately, everything's been lost to high-rise apartments, building all over the gardens. So, yes, we've had the loss of trees within our town, and with it as well, loss of biodiversity. So it's not losing just the plants, but also losing the insects and animals and anything that lives in these private gardens. It's getting hotter, as we know. In summer, having more heat waves than we used to have when I was younger. Rain is reducing. In fact, I'm trying to keep track. I think this is the 7th. We had the 7 consecutive winters with reduced rainfall. So normally in Malta, in a year, it rains about 600 millimeters. We're not always reaching that bracket of rain. Also having dry spells in winter, so sometimes even over here we had to water our plants from January. So normally in January, February it does rain, so we don't need to water our plants, but for the past 2 years, 3 years we've been watering our own plants in winter again, in winter as well. It's all the effect of we believe global warming and the desertification process of the island of Malta. When we're driving around, we normally see the same 4 or 5 trees. We see maybe the pine, olive trees, but we have 60 different tree species in Malta. Many some are extinct. Some we have lost the female counterpart, so just males. Others are a bit rare. Some are quite common. For example, the Aleppo pine, the pine is quite common. The carob is quite common. Olives, they're becoming very common. But with some fabulous and nice trees, which I think we should promote them more, if it's along our roads.
Hi all, I am Harinandan, one of the globe student vloggers from the region, Asia and Pacific. Does climate change affect trees? Cassia fusilla, a golden shower tree, is considered sacred in Kerala, a favorite flower of Lord Vishnu. It usually blooms in March, announcing the onset of summer season. But now we see the tree flowering all through the year, and the same is the case of mango tree. Let me find out whether these are the outcome of climate change. Sir, what have you noticed about the trees in your area? Is it the same or the different?
Actually, regarding this question, not a visible change have been noticed regarding this. As far as agriculture or crops is concerned, some new crops have been introduced, and especially regarding vegetable. For example, this cabbage and the cauliflower, etc. These crops were not cultivated in this area previously. But nowadays it's being cultivated, and the main reason for this is because these crops, in the seeds, these crops, the tropicalized varieties are introduced. That's the main reason why it can be cultivated here. Regarding trees, I think there is not much change regarding this area. Yeah, I think this question has more relevance regarding our area, because Kerala, it's having a specific time schedule for different season. Rainy season, that's a monsoon, and followed by summer season, that's in January and all. But usually in Kerala, the rainy season starts from the 1st of June. But nowadays the situation is changing. During some time, the rainy season starts from the month of April or May. And during some other season, the rainy season may got delayed. Up to July last week or June last. It's changing. And in addition to that, during summer months, especially this dry spell period, during December, January, February, this month, we were not having any rain during this month normally. But nowadays the situation is changing. Sometimes we are getting very heavy rainfall during this month, and it all disturbs the cropping pattern of our state. For example, during summer, for example, this pepper crop, black pepper, it needs a dry spell during the month of December, January, February, etc. But if it rains during this month, it severely affects the flowering of this pepper. And definitely there will be an yield reduction. And this summer also, we are getting summer rains during March, April, like that. That situation is also changing. I think all this is because of this climate change or some global warming or something like that.
Hi, my name's Royce Jacobs. I live in Medford, New Jersey in the United States. So my dad also grew up here in Medford. He's lived here most of his life, so hopefully he can give us some great insight on how our environment has changed over time.
Well, I've lived in this area for about 45 years, and a lot has changed. When I first moved here, the area was largely undeveloped, and when they went in and built houses, they generally did not clear the lots. They left the natural landscaping. So in the first house I lived at, the ground was covered by pine needles instead of a lawn. And instead of putting in these kind of basic landscaping trees or these decorative trees that they do now, we had all the natural pine trees and cedar trees and oaks. It's definitely different. The first thing that comes to mind is that back in the day when I first moved here, and again I'm going back about 45 years ago, I had a lake behind my house, and every year that lake would freeze over for at least a month. And the ice would be a foot or thicker, and we used to play hockey on the ice, and we used to leave all the hockey equipment right there on the lake, knowing that it certainly wasn't going to thaw anytime soon. And over the years, gradually that ice has started to disappear. Now I would say in the last 5 years, the ice has probably only been skatable for maybe a week or two of total time out of the last 5 years. So the winters are definitely getting warmer. I also think the fall and the spring seem kind of shorter. We're kind of jumping straight from cold weather to warm weather. and the winters are certainly more mild as well.
From what I've noticed about the trees in our area is that the quantity of trees has decreased due to deforestation. This has a huge effect on our climate, as this is what eventually leads to the change in our temperature and the increase of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere.
Time goes by, our trees changes and not entirely the same as before. Number one of it is the quantity. I remember as a kid there are still trees in the middle of the highway that divides the two roads. And right now I am already 15 years old. So they cut off the trees to make it a MRT or a local train here. So as our city modernizes, they need to sacrifice the trees to build a lot of infrastructures like buildings and everything. So I think that is the constant change within our environment here in the Philippines.
The climate in our area progressively gets worse as temperatures are often dropping and rising within a short amount of time. The climate now, as compared to the past, is different as temperatures are higher.
Yes, our climate changed and it's not entirely the same as before. Philippines is in the middle of the equator. Our biome is a tropical rainforest, meaning it rains a lot and the sunlight is enough. So plants is growing effectively. That's why we are known for crops, for fruits, for flowers, for trees, and everything. But because of people's greed, they cut off trees to build infrastructures that can benefit their own. Because of illegal logging or deforestation, our trees aren't enough to cover the sun and to produce enough oxygen. That's why our temperature is a little hotter than before. And in addition to that, our birds or animals living in the trees are losing their home because of it.
Also, go check out Globe's YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to click that notification bell to never miss a video. Thanks. Bye!